back to another new video here on FKJ Books. Today I have my next 4 mini book reviews. So if you did watch my first one, which is 1 to 4, you'll know I said in that video that I was just finishing the 8th, this was in February, I was just finishing the 8th book and I'd film this one very soon. Okay, it's been a while later and I'm again behind, so I have this one to film and then the next batch of 4, but I still want to do them in batches of 4 just because. So while I'm not as behind in the reading, I'm behind in the filming of the videos. But I'm really excited to talk to you about these 4 books. So the 5th book in 2017 that I read was The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. This is the first Casey West book. No, that's a lie. It is not. I was going to say it's the first Casey West book that I've read, but I've read Pivot Point, which I really enjoyed. I haven't read Split Second, which is the sequel. That one's a duology, and it's kind of more of a paranormal book, whereas this is her contemporary romance, which is her typical main genre. She has a whole bunch of books. And I had enjoyed Pivot Point, but I kind of always thought of it as like separate. So this is her first contemporary romance that I read. And I loved it. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the concept, I loved the characters, I loved the love interest. It was just cute and fluffy and it was just everything that I wanted at the time. It was just one of those books that I was like, oh, it was just, I don't know, it was kind of the contemporary that I wanted and I loved that. One of my favourite contemporary books is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, and while this wasn't at that level, it kind of had those, the feels that I got reading that, the vibes, this thing I want when I pick up a contemporary, this had it in it. And I loved it and I was so happy and so excited that I found a book that I was like, yes. And it is a little bit cliche and some people don't really like it, but for me it just ticked all the boxes and I really enjoyed it. Basically it's about this girl who is going to prom and she has this boyfriend who's from out of town and her friends don't believe her, and when they're just about to go into prom he breaks up with her and then she's like, oh no, I have to go into prom on my own and they didn't believe me in the first place, so she finds this fill-in boyfriend. And you know, it's all a little bit cute and silly, but there's parts of this book that really stick in my mind. There's certain characters I really loved. I loved the love interest sister. She was a brilliant character. The friends in this book though weren't very good. It's kind of like a toxic friendship, which wasn't the best, but I was able to put that aside. So overall I gave this book 4 stars. I did really enjoy it, but there was a couple of things that I thought, mostly just certain things with the friends and stuff maybe it was a little bit typical at times, but I did really enjoy it and I definitely would recommend it. And I have since ordered another one of Casey West's books, so I'll be reading that really soon, and then if I enjoyed that one I'll order another one and so on and so forth. I definitely, at this point, at the moment, want to read all of her books, so I really loved this one. The next one I read I also really loved, and that was Frost Hollow Hall. Now I got this book for Valentine's Day and I was super excited because I hadn't heard of this book before, but I do have another book by this author, Emma Carroll, but I hadn't read it yet. I've got A Strange Star, and so I picked this book up straight away after getting it for Valentine's Day and I went on a little weekend away trip and I brought this with me and it was just so perfect. I read it in the beginning of February, obviously we're going back a while now, and this book was probably my favourite book that I read this year. Basically, it's set in 1881, and it's about this girl who's just kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. The only thing that I'd say, it wasn't a problem in the book, the only thing I found with it that might have been a little bit less was that I found her sometimes was a little bit hard to get on with, but I found like it made sense. I don't know how to really explain it. I still loved her as a character. She, her family is kind of really struggling. Her father is away, her sister and her mother kind of get on better than she does, and they kind of have this little family dynamic which is very interesting, and there's a lot of interesting things obviously because it's the 1800s, which were really cool. And this one boy comes to her house one day, I can't even remember exactly why, but he just comes to her house and said, I've got a dare for you, let's go ice skating on the lake of Frost Hollow Hall, which is kind of this big hall which people are kind of scared of because years ago this boy died there who was like the son of the top people, I don't know what I can't remember what they're called, like I say, it was February, and he died there, and so it's kind of like an eeriness about this hall, and people don't really like to go in there, and they end up going there, and obviously, you know, whatever, they're doing this dare, and then, I don't really know if this is a spoiler, but I don't think it is, through certain circumstances, the girl ends up working at the hall as like one of the housemaids, I suppose you'd say, and it was so interesting. I loved that part of it. I loved seeing the workings behind it. I loved seeing this time. And then aside from that, that's kind of one plot. There's also this kind of mystery going on. Now I felt like the mystery in itself wasn't, it's not really a mystery book. I feel like the mystery, if it was just the mystery, I feel like I wouldn't have given it 5 stars. The mystery wasn't like a 5-star mystery, but the mystery is kind of its own little thing going on, as well as other things. So I felt like it fitted in okay. We've got the family dynamic, we've got this girl and this boy who's kind of just come into her life when she doesn't have that many friends. We've got her working at this hall. It's just all very interesting, and I loved the setting and the tone of this. I visualised it so well, and I loved it so much. So I definitely can't wait to read more books by Emma Carroll. Like I say, I own another one of her books. I will be reading it, and then I'll be working my way through her books as well, because I just loved this so much, and I definitely can see myself rereading this in the future, and I would definitely recommend it. It is middle grade, but it is really good and interesting if you like that kind of thing. I really, really loved this, so I was super happy that I got this book and loved it. So that was 5 stars. And then the next book, interestingly enough, all of these so far have began with F, so it's kind of weird. The next book is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This book, however, I didn't enjoy. It's probably my least favourite of the year. It's kind of hard because a lot of people really love this book. I found I had a lot of problems with it. I've read quite a few books similar. Basically, Audrey suffers with, I want to say social anxiety. Like I said, I read this in February, but maybe also just anxiety in general and other things, you know. And basically, she wears these, you probably know, it's a really popular book. She wears these dark glasses, and she doesn't really like to go out and talk to people. She's been very much inside. She's not going to school, and it's because of this thing that happened at school that kind of didn't cause it, but it kind of triggered it on a heightened, like it was there before, and then this. And what I liked about this book was I liked the family. I thought it was very interesting. The way that it's set up, I thought, oh, I'm going to love this, because it wasn't a main focus on, I say that's what the book's about, but it's not really. I mean, it is in there, but it's about so much else as well. It's just about Audrey and her family and other things and her brother, and I thought that the family in this book was very interesting and very present, and I really enjoyed that. However, we also have Linus, who comes into the tale, and I did not like Linus. I just really didn't like him as a character. I didn't like the things that he said. I didn't like the things that Audrey then felt because of him, and I just really didn't. There was something that really got to me about that bit, and even though I was enjoying this book at the beginning, it just kind of completely fell apart for me. And I don't know, that's might just be me personally. I don't want to ruin anything, so I can't really tell you what, but I give this book 2 stars. Like I said, there was things that I did enjoy about it, but there was some things that were said that I just didn't like how it went. I didn't really like how it concluded. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I know a lot of people do like this book, so obviously look up some reviews. You probably already know about this one, so that's Finding Audrey. The fourth and final one I have to talk about today is Royally Obsessed, the 4th book, I want to say, and now I'm like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. The 4th book in the Princess Diaries series. I've been reading this book kind of just slowly on and off, picking them up here and there, say every other month, and I've really been enjoying it so far. However, this one was my least favourite. I think it was because its main focus was on one set thing, it kind of felt, and I kind of felt like I missed a lot of other things. I don't know, I can't really now explain it, because I feel like the 4th book, I don't really want to just ruin it, but I feel like it's not really that much of a spoiler, but still. It's kind of more Mia really only thinking about one guy kind of thing. That's pretty much what the whole book is. Obviously these are own short books, so I didn't really enjoy it as much, but you know, I still enjoyed Mia and reading her thoughts and reading her, obviously, diary, and I will continue on with this series. I do want to finish this series and then read the Royal Wedding, which is the adult one, and I am enjoying it. I will continue on with it, but this one was just kind of a little bit of my least favourite, but I always find if you read long series, there's always going to be a certain few that you maybe don't like as much as the others, which is fine. Like I say, I still gave it 3 stars, so I enjoyed it enough, but it just wasn't as good as the first 3 for me. So I think maybe, I don't even know which one was my favourite. I wonder if maybe the 3rd might be my favourite. I'm not sure. The first 3 are not all blended into one, but yeah, overall this one wasn't my favourite, but I will be continuing on with it soon. I do need to still buy the 5th one. I've been reading one, finishing it, buying the next, and then I obviously don't read it right away. But with this one, when I finished it, I didn't buy the next one straight away because, like I say, it wasn't my favourite. But yeah, so those are the 4 books that I read after the other 4, so up to book 8. I will be doing another one of these very soon, I definitely promise, so I can talk about the next 4 in my batch that I've read in 2017. My favourite was Frost Hollow Hall. I would definitely recommend it. My next favourite was Fill-In Boyfriend, then The Princess Diaries, and then I didn't really like Finding Audrey, and I will be unhauling Finding Audrey, but that was just me personally. So let me know down in the comments below if you've read any of these. Please subscribe if you feel like you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!